Let's get this over with. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'm gonna be doing a review, a rant on Mission Impossible 2. So, Mission Impossible 2 is the second installment in the Mission Impossible franchise and came out in the year 2000 and is directed by Michael Bay. I meant to say John Woo and stars Tom Cruise, Dougray Scott, Thandwi Newton, Ving Rhames, Richard Roxburgh, John Paulson, Brendan Gleeson, etc. And so basically, the plot for this movie tells a story of Ethan and his IMF team who must go against Sean Ambrose and all the villains who are about to spread this virus named Chimera like all around the world and then while during the mission Tom Cruise is being forced to recruit Nia Hall, who becomes Tom Cruise's love interest, and yeah, that's basically the plot for this the quote unquote plot for this movie. So yeah, I think it's a no brainer for y'all to know that I am a massive Mission Impossible fan. I love pretty much the next few movies after this. And this franchise thankfully does step up later on. I'll talk more about that at the end of the and by the time I review like the next few films. But yeah, I did love the first Mission Impossible movie. I thought it was kind of a snooze fest and a very thought provoking but messy plot. A little bit messy. There's like some plot holes there. And it had a very slow pace, but I thought it was a really good action film. And it actually had a very clever, thought-provoking story. And even like as the first Mission Impossible, I don't love it. I was not mind blown by it. Like it's unlike some of the later films in the franchise, but I think it is. No, but I thought it was a really good movie. Great action scenes when there is one, and such great characters, which features my favorite love interest of Tom Cruise of Ethan Hunt. But but yeah, I think a lot of you guys would know how these franchises work. Even if these franchises are very successful, there will come one bad installment in the franchise, and there comes Mission Impossible 2, which is unanimously agreed upon to be the worst Mission Impossible movie. I know there's some saying it's actually not that bad. Like, it's just a disappointment in comparison to the other franchise, and it's the weakest one. But there's some who say it's just straight up bad. Now, when I saw this movie for the first time, I didn't really hate this movie. I thought it was just mediocre. It is enjoyable at times, but I just thought it was just too plain boring and didn't feel like a Mission Impossible movie. But it's always willing to give this movie a rewatch. And yes, I had to sit through this movie again, since I had to rewatch all the Mission Impossible movies in preparation for Dead Reckoning Part One. And yeah, oh my goodness, I honestly think that on rewatch, I actually think this movie is not only the worst Mission Impossible movie, but it is just outright a bad movie. In fact, a disaster of a movie, sure as say. This movie is just so bad. I cannot believe that in one of the greatest action franchises of all time, there would be an installment this bad. Like, the fact that no one just cared about even making this, and I know this was back in the days when Mission Impossible have hasn't found its footing, but they didn't even try to make at least a decent film. Like, what were y'all thinking of making this movie? So yeah, before I get into all everything wrong with this movie, are there any positives, redeeming qualities to say about this movie? I like Tom Cruise, I guess. I liked Ethan Hunt. I mean, he's okay, I guess. I know. I do have a lot of problems with Ethan Hunt. But I will say that Tom Cruise did try his best in this one. I mean, he had some really cool stunts, cool martial arts like stunts, like especially with the final battle with all the martial arts style action. Like it was kind of badass. But the rock climbing scene in the beginning was actually pretty cool. And Ethan Hunt did try his best to try to overcome a bad script. You can clearly tell that Tom Cruise knows this movie is bad based on the script, so he really does try his best to save it, and he did try. Weakest performance in the franchise, absolutely, but he was not bad. But unfortunately, that's like pretty much my only good thing about this movie. Everything else in this movie is just oh my god. Where do I even start with this? First of all, the story is so basic. Like when people complain about the first film being way too complex and way too complex and convoluted. And I understand where they're coming from. I actually did was able to understand a bit. I was able to get the plot a bit more in rewatch. Unlike the first time, I didn't understand it at all. But at the very least, I mean, I guess that they were trying to make the plot easier to follow, but what we got is such a simplistic, lazily written plot that feels like it was made by a 5 year, feels like it was written by a 5 year old, and like and and the whole concept about having a deadly virus and stuff. It felt so out of place in Mission Impossible. Like when you watching a spy movie, a movie about the plot being about a deadly virus doesn't fit well in a spy movie. It doesn't translate well. I mean, look at action movies like Maze Runner. At least that had at least the virus plot in the movie. It did fit the kind of movie it is. Or look at something like The Last of Us, like uh, as just a straight up action drama movie, but that did fit you. You can use a virus in an action movie, but it's hard for me to picture out the plot being about a virus in a Mission Impossible movie. Plus, even on its own, it still doesn't work because they don't even explain what the virus does. Like it doesn't inform you much about the virus. All it just tells you is that there's a virus and it needs to be destroyed, and the villains want to spread it around the world. But it doesn't really tell you like I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Basically, the guy just he wouldn't know he hasn't until he straight up dies. Like they did not explain a bit, but the information they told us is just basically, oh my god, the virus. Oh, like basically the doctor will tell you, or the guy near you, like in a hospital bed, he'll tell you, oh you have the virus, and then the guy in the hospital will be like, oh what do you mean? I don't have the chimera. I'm not infected. That's so yeah. Basically, you think you don't feel you're infected, but then you'll just suddenly die out of nowhere. Later on, that's how you'll know. That doesn't make sense. Like that is just you can't just like that is so unrealistic. That it's so dumb. Like do these writers know anything about viruses? Like I swear, yeah, this if they told the story like during the pandemic, I guess they would make a more realistic depiction of a virus. But no, yeah, this dumb concept of a virus, and this movie film is nothing like Mission Impossible. I mean, this movie is basically a Bond ripoff. I know Harry Thomas just calls his franchise a Bond ripoff, like it's just being an American Bond. I mean, to be honest, I can see where he's coming from, but I don't think a Mission Impossible franchise is trying to be like Bond. But this one in particular, though, it is a Bond. This movie is a Bond ripoff. Like, wow, like it's not Mission Impossible at all. It feels like it's either a Bond movie or just a simple regular action movie. I think the problem with that is the director John Woo, who mostly directs the Hong Kong martial arts films. So obviously he's the wrong choice to direct this movie. Like he does not fit to direct a Mission Impossible movie. Like you can clearly see That's his style does not work, and a lot of it is just basically it takes so much elements from the Bond film, and it's not even self aware of it. Yeah, Tom Cruise is Ethan Hunt is just basically James Bond, like American James Bond. And you got so many copies, like the whole romance between Ethan and Niall. It's like it's basically a ripoff of a Bond romance. Like Niall is basically a Bond girl ripoff. And I didn't even care about Niall. I thought she was by far the weakest of the female allies in this franchise. Like allies in this franchise, like by far. And what else did I say? And yeah, and even like there was this scene like with the Ethan and Niall just driving along the streets, and it's literally just and that scene is literally just a straight rip off of this of one of the Bond movies. I forgot what it was, but definitely I think in the Pierce Brosnan era, yeah, they copied. And yeah, that's the thing. This movie feels like a Bond movie in the Pierce Brosnan era. I mean, probably one of the weakest Bond eras aside from I don't even remember the Bond name, but the one after Sean Connery and before Roger Moore, like that Bond. I don't even remember that guy's name anymore, but he's my least. But I don't care. Um, I honestly don't care. But yeah, yeah, this does feel like it does feel like you know, a Pierce Brosnan era Bond movie. Like it's just so like ridiculous and so goofy. Like you just really question if this is a Mission Impossible movie. It's certainly not. Oh, but not only is this like a Bond movie, basically imagine a Bond movie directed by Michael Bay. This movie would be it. Yeah, yeah. Hence the title. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have probably know about the title. Did Michael Bay direct this? Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt. Like I've gotten so much Michael Bay vibes. Like the way this movie was shot, like it felt like John Woo is basically the Asian Michael Bay, because that's what it felt like. Like the camera work is awful. Like the camera work is just nauseating. Bleh, bleh, bleh. Like come on. I mean most of the movie was just so slow paced and reliant on exposition. Like it was so boring. Like I was waiting for an action scene, and I was hoping the action scene of the third act can save it. But nope, it's hard to follow. It feels like a Michael Bay movie with the overuse of explosions, and of course, let's not forget the shaky cam. Oh god, the shaky cam, and even the editing, those quick cut and slow mo. My goodness, there is an overuse of slow mo scenes that characters just jumping so slow and so slow, like so much slow mo. Like even when the characters walking, they still use slow mo. Like for example, when even sees Niall for the first time, like we see her just walking so slow like a snail. Like I was like, oh come on. Yeah, and like and there's not like an overuse of explosions like something you expect out of a Michael Bay Transformers movie. Like uh my goodness. And yeah. Oh yeah, also the music, even the music is screwed up. Like there's not a single like they literally used a remix version of the Mission Impossible theme, like the dun 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 dun, like that iconic music. They literally made a remix in this movie and straight up butchered it, where you don't feel like you don't hear his music, and most of the time, you hear most of the things in the score is just basically like it does not fit in it doesn't fit in a Mission Impossible movie. Like like during the lab action scene, like there was like a bunch of shooting and explosions. No, you don't hear any of this sound effects. Like when you're like shooting or having explosions, all you hear is like that. Like oh my god. You know what? I'm done talking about this movie. Mission Impossible 2 is worse than you think. I think this movie isn't hate enough. It deserves more hate than this this movie is not kind of the Mission Impossible. Yes, sure, Tom Cruise does try his best at Ethan Hunt, but everything in this movie is so bad. It felt more like a regular action movie than a Mission Impossible movie. In fact, I certainly do not consider this movie canon to Mission Impossible in any shape or form. Period. Woo. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna give Mission Impossible to a 2 out of 10. Ah, thank God I don't have to think about this movie ever again. Okay. So also for my rant on Mission Impossible 2, what is your opinion on this movie? Yeah, I'm sure we can all agree that this is the worst Mission Impossible movie. Period. But do you agree with me that this is a straight up outright bad movie? It's so um, do you agree with me that this is an outright bad movie, or do you think that it's actually not that bad and there was some effort put into it? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review of Mission Impossible 3. Yeah, the movie that redeemed the franchise. So yeah, bye guys.